when it comes to gratitude, very often we feel like it's our obligation to express to the one doing good to us that we appreciate what they've done. We almost feel like it's just the social expectation. If someone has a bag of chips and I ask for one, if when I receive that benefit from them, and I feel like how do I just walk away, take a chip and just walk? I feel like I have to do something to recognize you did. So I'm like, thank you. It's almost like the social expectation. But for many acts of kindness that are done for us, what is so crucial for us in showing appreciation and having gratitude is that it's allowing ourselves to be inspired by great actions so that we can move on and we could do the same ourselves. But that as well, there's also another component. There's also the aspect of recognizing how much people around us care for us. This lesson could be learned from a very fascinating midrash that talks about a case where a man is walking by a body of water and he's bitten by a snake. And to relieve the pain in his foot and to try to neutralize the poison, the man runs into the ocean to have the salt go into the wound and help heal. And as the man runs into the ocean, he finds a young child who hadn't been playing next to the ocean and was drowning. And the man, as he's trying to relieve the pain in his leg, he sees the child, he dives into the water and swims to the child to save him. And when he brings the child out of the water, the child looks up at him and says, "Thank you so much for saving my life." And the man says, "Don't thank me. You should thank the snake. Thank the snake that bit my leg, because had that snake not bit my leg, I would not have gone to the water and I wouldn't have seen you. So really, it's all about the snake." And the question that I heard asked on this midrash is, how could it be that this man could possibly say to the child, "Don't thank me, thank the snake"? Really? The snake that only has bad intentions? So how do you make sense of this medrash? I heard from one of my Rebbeim, Rav Zweig, who said that, you know what it's teaching us, this midrash? It's teaching us that everything that happens, all actions that are done, there's so much effort that goes in to making that action happen. So in the case of the snake, yes, the man obviously doesn't mean that to actually thank the snake. What he means to say is that you should thank God and you should recognize that everything that God does, there's so many steps that go into making things happen. And it's not just simple, like thank this person, but really Hashem orchestrates so many details in our lives to allow amazing things to end up where they are. And it's not enough just to say thank you for the last good action, but all the other actions that are orchestrated to make that good action happen. And so too in our case as well. You know, if a mother one day has a cake on the table for her children when they get back from school, and when the children get back and they say, "Mom, thanks so much for the cake. So nice of you. You know, I was hungry today." That's a nice thing to do. That's a nice expression of thanks. But without knowing what goes in to making the cake, without understanding and recognizing and appreciating what goes in for a mother to go shopping and there was traffic and she came late to work, but she said, "I'm going to make that cake anyway for my kids." When the children understand what details, what effort, what investment went into this act of kindness, the appreciation, the recognition of what was done for me is so much more deep, it's so much more intense. My appreciation is, wow, I have an incredible mother. She was willing to go through all these steps. She could have been like, forget it, it's not worth it. I'm too busy, I'm gonna be late to work, I have too much going on. But the fact that she went through all these different obstacles and steps, it shows how much she really cares. And then I have so much more gratitude, I have so much more appreciation. And I feel it's so much more than that, is recognizing how much people actually care. And that is so much more meaningful. And to the second point as well, it also helps us understand and helps us get inspired for what levels of effort we can do to go out and take care of others as well. In regards to Israel, some of you know that my wife and I and two of our children, we lived in Israel for 5 years. And I look back to the first event that we experienced in Israel. Until this day, it's one of the most powerful events of all my 5 years in Israel. That sort of relates to this idea. I remember we were on a Nefesh B'Nefesh flight and we were coming to Israel. I remember when we landed and we got off the plane in the old Ben Gurion airport and we're walking down the steps. I remember the first thing I saw, which was so powerful, I was so taken aback, were two lines of Israeli soldiers who were saluting us and welcoming us, waving flags, and behind them were hundreds of Israelis who I never met before. I had no idea who they were. And when I found out later, I was so appreciative. These people came out to welcome us and they're waving flags and signs, welcome to Israel. And I was just like, wow, it's so amazing. These people came out for us. It was like we were so moved by it. People were crying. When I found out that these hundreds of people who came, they didn't just show up a half an hour ago. They haven't been passing by in the highway and were like, hey, might as well pull over. No, these people woke up at 6 in the morning and they had to drive and then go through security, and there's different levels of security, and they had to wait online to get a place, just to get in. I was like, these people went through so many hurdles just to come and say thank you to us for moving to Israel and welcoming us and saying, welcome brothers and sisters. It was just an incredible feeling that helped us appreciate, understand so much more what these people were willing to do and how far they wanted to go. So this is the lesson I think is fascinating in gratitude, and want to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom.